Hey everyone, welcome back to a map called Dangerous Roads here in BeamNG.drive. So a couple weeks ago, last week, whenever it was, I don't remember, we had a few attempts on this map already. If you remember, if you were here for it, there is two different variations or two different routes on this map. There's one that's the paved route and another one that is the off-road route. We are going to be doing the off-road route today. The off-road route is going to have us winding through a bunch of roads here. Let's see if I can have it show us like so. We're going to be following such a path. This is the dirt road, as they call it, I suppose. Dirt road start and dirt road end. So last time we tried it in this car. This car is not too bad. It did reasonably good. It did amazing on the on-road part, but I think in this case, for the off-road, it's a little bit out of its area. So somebody said, don't underestimate the hopper. So I went and grabbed this variation of the hopper. This one right here, the classic. Is it going to be any better? I have no idea. As far as ground clearance goes and wheelbase and everything, it's not that much different. This is four-wheel drive, but so was our car over there. This Jeep is going to be a little bit, Hopper is going to be a little bit skinnier, so maybe that'll help us out a little bit. Let me get rid of these waypoints. We don't need that. So we're going to see if we can get from point A to point B here. I haven't made any modifications, wow, words, to this thing at all. All we've done is put it in 4 low. Let's see what happens. So I do have to be careful. It has been a couple weeks here since I've driven the course before, so bear with me when I don't know where I'm going. It's weird that this engine is a lot quieter than that other cars. We need to be careful of these rocks. We had the issue with the other car where we just managed to damage our wheels, damage our suspension, kind of almost without realizing it. It just was rather unexpected, I suppose. I mean, there's rocks hidden in bushes. Bushes can even, sometimes in this game, rip things off for your vehicles and pull you off course and all that, so we've got to be careful of that. There's a downhill section we'll approach in a minute that was a big problem. We made a couple attempts at this last time around on this dirt path, dirt road, dirt route, whatever you want to call it. But we were never successful. I'm already having issues. Maybe I should have put better tires on the thing, but I wanted to try it stock like this. We'll try it stock, we'll give it a couple goes. If it doesn't work, then we'll come back for the next video and give it another go. And if you guys have other suggestions, then we could try those ones. Even if we do make it, you can still suggest things. I mean, we can always give it a try. I need a diff lock on this thing. That's something that it doesn't have that it would really benefit. But yeah, we'll cross our bridge when we come to it. In a sense, I suppose. It is kind of dark on this path, which is understandable. It's on the side of a mountain. I mean, we can't be in the sun the whole time, and sort of a mountain anyway. A cliff of sorts. Ooh, need to be careful of my momentum going down this hill, and also under a lot of canopy. I need to be careful of these rocks. I do not want to tweak a wheel. I don't want to break my steering. That will make things basically impossible for me to continue. I say as I hit that rock at pretty high speed. That was stupid, wasn't it? That was really bad control on my part. I'm hoping that the suspension in this, I want to call it a Jeep, but it's not a Jeep, in this hopper is just being a bigger vehicle, a more purpose-built off-road vehicle to a degree, is going to help us in those little kinds of bumps. Hopefully things like the suspension won't be as delicate and the steering won't be as delicate. Like, that's my biggest worry. I'm not too worried about the rears. It would take something big to do that kind of damage. It's my steering in the front that I'm worried about being the weak point. And I don't know if I've even driven, sliding into that rock, if I've ever driven this variant of this vehicle before. So I'm not exactly super experienced with it in that sense. Don't mind me pitching the camera up like this. This is where I had an issue going down the hill before on our last run. At least one time, I don't know if I fell off, I can't remember, or if I just bent suspension. I think I just bent the suspension, or the steering, broke the steering in one of my wheels going down it. But maybe it did fall off, I don't remember. But yeah, it's tough once you get a lot of speed going down here. Trying to save it is hard. I remember squeezing through here being difficult without sliding off the edge. This thing being a little bit skinnier helps. It's not a huge difference in width, but it's enough. It's definitely enough to help. We're almost to the bottom of this thing. I'm just going to creep down it, sorta. I feel like I was in the middle of a thought a minute ago and I got distracted, so you will never, if that's the case, you will never ever know what I was talking about. It'll be forever a mystery. Careful. Oh, getting speed. Too much speed. Oh, almost drove off the edge. I made a bit of a piloting error there. Alright, now this part, I'm worried about this part without the diff locks on this. If I get, so here's, whoops, I think I hit my microphone. Here's the issue. If I build up speed and go over this quickly, I'll probably clear it no problem. But I risk breaking something on the vehicle. Whereas if I go slow and I get hung up completely without this diff lock, then, well, it's game over anyway. So, it's so hard to tell, too. I don't have proper depth perception in this case. I can't even get a view out. I was trying to be sneaky with the camera. I can't really tell how big those rocks actually are compared to my wheels. I think I'm going to have to keep a little bit of momentum. It wasn't as bad as I expected. I don't think we did any damage. This one might be worse. In this one, there's that big rock on the right side of the road there. Okay, gonna try to... Okay, yeah. Kept a little bit of momentum. As long as I didn't hit that big rock, I think I would be okay. If we didn't touch it, I don't think. Nothing substantially anyway. Come on, get some grip. Get some grip. The automatic transmission almost did us dirty there. The thing's like, oh, we're climbing the hill. Hold on, let me shift. Let me shift gears and let you fall back down the thing. I thought I was going to have to get a running start at it again. But I didn't. Maybe, just maybe, we've underestimated this thing. I don't remember what's up ahead. I don't think we've made it too much farther than this, to be honest. I know we made it to this point, but I don't know how, well, yeah, maybe a little bit farther. I guess a bit farther. I'm trying to remember now. It's been forever, okay? If you're watching these videos back to back, I cannot talk today, then you are going to know, oof, what I did last time a lot better than I am. Not too worried about bottoming this thing out. Not too worried about slamming the rear wheels in anything. Not super worried about getting stuck, but a little bit worried. Just, yeah, like I said 3 times already, or more. Just worried about that front steering and suspension. I want to get a little bit of speed. I don't want to take forever doing this, because that's boring. But I want to try to get a little bit of build-up. How many other people play this game the same way I do, where I try to avoid getting my vehicle damaged? I try to do endurance-type events to its, in some description, I guess, in this game, as opposed to a lot of people, they're like, it's a simulator game. It's a largely crash simulator game. Let's see how much damage I can do to a vehicle. Let's see what ways I can damage my vehicle in. And I'm over here like, hold on, let me not damage it. Let me drive for like a half-hour long, sometimes over an hour long video, and not damage my vehicle in a game that is built around the ability to realistically destroy your vehicles. I don't know, that's what I find fun. I know I can smash them in 5 seconds. I know I can take them off a big ramp and all that jazz and destroy everything, but I don't know, I find it a lot more entertaining, or maybe even satisfying in my brain, to not do that. To try to put them through their paces is a good term, I suppose. Okay, I remember we made it to this point before, for sure. I remember we damaged something on our vehicle on one of these sharp corners. Possibly the one we went around, possibly the next one up, I don't remember. So we've definitely made it past these windy uphill roads. Pretty sure. Definitely, maybe. Definitely, without a doubt, possibly. That's how certain I am. Okay, gotta be careful. The big rocks are the scariest, because I could just... things are so delicate in cars in this game. I still can't talk today. Holy. It's just one of those days, I guess. Doesn't feel like one of those days, but it's one of those days. I'm learning that rapidly. You guys get to experience that with me. Lucky you. Lucky you. What is going on here? Okay, that was a bit of a bump. We're okay. Alright, turn around here. Avoid the rock. It's semi-hidden in the bush on the left there. Don't hit this at a weird angle. We're good. Okay. Alright, yeah, we definitely made it past this point. It's coming back to me slowly as we go here. I think there's a point up here a little bit farther where the road kind of splits almost into two options, like a lower and upper path. And the lower path, we find out very quickly, turns into nothing. It just gradually turns into a sheer drop on the side of this cliff. And the one on the right is seemingly the only good one, but I don't think we made it much past that part. Unless I'm thinking of the paved route, I don't know. The semi-paved route, really, it's not a proper road. It's got potholes everywhere, it's got dirt sections, it's got a bridge we drove across. All kinds of stuff, but I'm thinking this is probably the road I have in mind. That rock is large. Do we have grip? Do we have enough traction? Ooh, that noise. I heard the noise of the vehicle bottoming out, and I wasn't worried about the damage. I was just worried about getting hung up. I like to avoid node grabbing. If we do get hung up, I don't know if I should use the node grabber. Like, that's kind of cheating. But should we? Like, I don't know. I've been very on the fence about it the entire time. What the heck is this? I feel like I need to go to the right and put these rocks under my car. But if I do that, like where that bush is, I know it's dark, it's hard to see. If I do that, am I going to get bottomed out? Am I going to get high centered? Am I going to damage anything? I could even just rip off something at the bottom of the car. I don't know if that drive shaft is terribly exposed under there or what. But if I go to the left, I think I'm going to fall off the cliff. So I think I've got to go to the right a little bit. That's not exactly where I wanted to go. Can I get off of this? Can I back up? Okay, I think... Uh-oh. Alright, can I back up now? Oh no. This is possibly a problem. Oh. We're getting closer to the edge of this cliff here, too, by the second. I don't think I'm saving this, guys. I think we're going down that cliff. I think we're going down... Yeah, as soon as I touch the gas. I couldn't get off the rock. I was hung up on it. And anytime I made a move, I just slid towards the edge. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Alright, so we're going to make another attempt, but we're going to switch it up just a tiny bit. Now, obviously, I could just jump into the Rock Racer, the Crawler, or the Off-Road Edition and get this done almost certainly, bar any stupid mistakes myself, or catching a rock or weird way, or whatever. But we're going to upgrade very slightly. We're actually going to jump into this thing, and the reason I'm going with this is it has a 6-cylinder engine, same size tires, but that's fine. This one is meant to be off-road a little bit, right? It's off-road focused, so it should give us a better chance. Here it is. You can see it side by side with the one we just drove. It's very slightly, very slightly taller, perhaps, looking on the suspension side, the ground clearance side. But most importantly, if you look at the bottom right here, we have a rear diff lock. So that should help us very much. Let's give it a go and see if we can do any better. This thing does, I can tell already, obviously have more power. Ooh, which is probably just going to get me in trouble more, to be completely honest. I do have the thing in 4 low again, just because, I mean, top speed doesn't matter. We want that power on demand. We want to be able to get over stuff. Over the rocks, over the hills, whatever it is, of course. So now we have to start all over again, and I have to figure out what I'm going to ramble on about to you guys for another 10 minutes. Or hopefully longer. Hopefully we will make it. As I think that if we had taken the other vehicle again, the same hopper we just tried a moment ago, that we probably would have come across the same issue in the same place. And I feel like in order for me to get past that spot, I would have really had to have sent it, and I'm confident I would have broken something. Even if that's just the radiator, like, I don't know. We're not really hammering the crap out of the engine, generating a whole lot of heat in this thing. So I don't know how important the radiator really is, but at the same time, we're not traveling very fast. We don't have a whole lot of airflow through that engine compartment, which is definitely a thing in this game. And I don't know how that dynamic... Oh, I need to be careful here with my speed. I don't know how that dynamic would affect cooling. Like, yes, you're going slower, yes, you're generating less heat, but you're also dispersing less heat. So, I don't know. And I don't know how long exactly at this kind of pace. Right now, I'm mostly just on the brakes. I'm hardly touching the gas at all. I don't know if we can do most of this drive with a damaged radiator, or exactly even how much is left after that point. I'm pretty sure we made it past that point in our other car the last time around, which the name escapes me at the moment. But the yellow one you saw at the beginning. So, yikes. We're nearing the scary downhill part. This vehicle might be a little bit wider. We might be wider than the military-esque looking one. So that could be an issue when we get to a downhill section very soon. This rock, ooh. We also, maybe, I don't think so, but maybe we start doing taller vehicles like this. The center of gravity could become an issue. Okay, here's the downhill part that's a little bit sketchy. Yeah, this thing has the same tires as the last one, so we don't have extra grip in the braking compared to before. I didn't check the weight, but this might weigh more? Well, I don't know, because I mean, the other one was, I don't know if it was just a recreation. I think the description said it's a recreation of a military vehicle as opposed to actually being one. So I don't know if it would be using heavier materials like, you know, older cars. Oh, no! Ah, no. Dang. The extra width was a problem on the hopper. I'm pretty sure at the end of the last video too, after trying this the first time, I was talking about the different vehicles that I could try in this, and one of the things I brought up was, hey, the width of that yellow car was an issue. Maybe I shouldn't bring another wide car. Okay. Should we try this vehicle again? Let's give it one more try, because we didn't make it that far in. And if we fail in the same spot again, or for the same reason again, we're going to switch it up. And then we'll have to either grab something that is better at going over those rocks as opposed to around it, which I feel like is still a big ask for most vehicles, or we find something else that's skinnier. I have an idea of what we could bring where size wouldn't be an issue as far as width, but we might have other issues in size. And maybe we'll try that out before we just go to a big off-road rock crawling specific built vehicle. I think that would be a better what's the word I'm looking for? Evolution? Progression? Something like that? Some sort of word. I need words. But I feel like this Jeep has everything it needs to do it. I almost drove it off the cliff. Sometimes the low gear ratio catches me out, I think. It's different. It feels different than driving in 4 high or 2 high. It's odd that way. But yeah, as I was saying with the other vehicle, before I drove off the edge of the cliff, the military-esque hopper, it's based on an older vehicle, but I don't think it is actually the older vehicle according to the description it gave me, if I remember it correctly. So is it made of heavier materials like older cars typically are? Maybe, maybe not. So does it weigh more in that sense? Maybe, maybe not. That's helpful, right? I'm glad I could give you all this descriptive, super useful information. And then the other thing is, yes, it's a convertible. The topless, anyway. This thing is also a hardtop. So, firstly, convertibles are quite often heavier than their non-convertible counterparts because there's more structural stuff that has to go in to keep the car from, you know, folding in half when it hits a big bump. Silly stuff like that. Or over time. And like I don't know how I guess the Jeep would have a similar, the Jeep again. The Hopper, I'm thinking Jeep in real life, would have a similar thing going on there. Alright, we're approaching this downhill. We need to be careful. If we fall off on this little downhill section again, then we're moving on. We'll move on to a new vehicle. The next one I have in mind, probably for the next episode, because I don't want to make this another hour-long video. I think that's a little bit obscene, but I've been doing it a lot lately. Nobody's complained. But whatever. Alright, where do we fall off? Was it right here? At this rock? Or probably the next rock, wasn't it? I don't know. we identify the tree that ate our vehicle? Oh, every time I hit the brakes, though. Oh, that was scary. That was a little scary. I'm still struggling for control. I've got to kind of pump the brakes here, because if I hold them, sometimes I start sliding sideways. Alright. I think... I don't want to say it yet. I'm not saying it yet. Not saying it yet. Get around the rock. Oh. It's like if I pick up just a tiny bit too much speed and hit a rock, I'm just going to be thrown somewhere. Wherever the game and the physics want to throw me. And then I'll start bouncing, and then there's no chance of me slowing down. Okay. Now I can say it. Whoops, I hit the microphone again. Great idea to put the microphone where I can hit it. Whose idea was that? I can say it though, we made it down the hill. And I don't think this spot is going to be an issue. Oof, I say as I bottom out the front of the car. We have the diff lock this time. I'm not as worried about all the rocks and such. Yikes. I should probably still be concerned about all the other components in the front end that I've been worried about this entire time. That you've heard me rant about 100 times. Feels like 100 times, probably. Feels like 100 times to me, almost. Like, it's so hard to tell. It being a little bit darker in here, and not having the perfect camera angles. Didn't mean to hit that. How big some of these rocks are. And then I'm trying to constantly adjust it to see in front of me better, that I'm getting more of a bird's eye down view, and that doesn't help with perspective for height. Trying to see through, like, around the bushes and whatnot more and more, like the best I can. This part is a little bit rocky. As long as I don't catch a wheel too badly. I heard a bug in my ear. I mean, in the game, but... Alright, okay, couldn't see anything for a second there. That was scary. Alright, we're through. Well, I mean, through that part. There's still lots more to go here. Like, oh, holy moly. Oh, didn't see that one. Just one little... I can't think of words again. I can't think of words or talk. I feel like the talking issue is going away. And now the thinking of the words I need to say issue is becoming a big thing. It's a rough day, isn't it? Holy. Okay, yep. Right, got it. Got it. By the way, didn't mention it, but the link to download this modded map here, called Dangerous Roads, is going to be in the video description. If anybody wants to give it a try on their own, for whatever reason, it is there. The map maker of this map is the same one that created the Journey of the Long Road. What, I forget already. Woo. Sorry, Spencer. Check out his other stuff. Check out his stuff. You'll be able to find his other stuff there at the same link for this map as, yeah, his profile is on there. You'll see him. You'll figure it out. Just use a little bit of power to get around that corner in a hurry. Kind of use it to help rotate the vehicle. And I'm probably going to check out more of his maps very soon. And he actually, just the other day, released another one. Another brand new one. That he spent, he said, I think 2 or 3 months making. And right now, he's just got the link on his Patreon page. It's available, free for everybody. But his maps that he makes, they are ridiculous. They look amazing. He's one of those people that makes maps that they just... Like this one. Would you have looked at it and went, yeah, it's a crappy mod? No. You wouldn't really identify it as a mod the first time you looked at it. Like, the only thing I can pick on is sometimes the texture on the side of the rock here is a little bit kind of low quality, but otherwise, like, look at the detail in this thing. Look at all the painstaking work that went into making these roads, placing these rocks, thinking through all of these obstacles, placing all the trees and bushes where they are. Like, it's an insane amount of work. It's not just something he generated and went, okay, sure, hit the random button, here we go. Like, his maps are something else. They're wonderful. And I thank him greatly. We need to really get him all the attention he deserves. Alright, yep. Okay. We're getting somewhat close. I think we're pretty close. Just around the corner up here, perhaps? to that part that got us the last time in the military-esque hopper. We've got to be getting close. It must be just at a view a little bit. This mud does not help. I think it was in this muddy section too, wasn't it? This mud does not help though. It just makes everything so slippery side to side. That's probably part of the part that pushed us off before. It's just... Yeah, it doesn't help because you get yourself in a precarious location. The not being able to talk thing is coming back. You get yourself in a precarious location, and you try making adjustments, and now every time you make an adjustment, as you saw before, you're sliding around. Okay, I see up there the our last failure part. So what do I want to do? How do I want to approach that? Let's put the brake on for a second. Because last time my right wheel hit this thing. I was trying to get my right wheel up above here, so that I could kind of hopefully hook it, but the mud I think was too slippery and I slid down it more than I wanted to, or I just suck at driving. That's an equally strong possibility. And if I don't get my wheels on this side of it, then I also hit this rock at the same time, and that got me hung up before as well. So, sorry, what could what's the best option? I have no idea. I have no idea. Why does part of me say going backwards over that sound like the best idea? That's maybe because I don't know. Do we want to have reverse steering? I don't know. Let's try it. Try the same thing again. You know what? Try the same thing again, expecting a different result. We're gonna do it a little bit safer this time, a little more gentle. It's a definition of insanity. We are insane. Maybe we just overthought that way too much. Because look how easy that was. I think we probably could have done it in the other hopper. I mean, don't get ahead of ourselves here. We're getting a little bit hung up. I'm so worried I'm going to start sliding towards the edge if I get caught on something. I'm so worried I'm going to hit a weird bounce. Like I'm paranoid. The farther I get into... Ooh, the farther I get into this map, the more nervous I get. I mean, it's been the same thing for a lot of the Journey of the Long Road runs as well, especially the off-road ones. Like the off-road ones are treacherous. There's so many hidden things. Just so easily I can end my whole run. And especially on some of those vehicles, for even the on-road ones, it was over an hour to drive across that map. So for me to crash, say, 55 minutes into my 1 hour journey, sucks. It sucks so much, and I've got to start all over again. And don't you think that there was definitely a few hours of wasted time on those maps, holy, on those journeys, several of them. It's not just I do it once and it's done. Like no. No. The time trials were the worst for that. Both of those time trials took several hours to get like a... I think I did them in like 17 minutes in the end, but yeah, that doesn't show attempt 1 through 20 probably on the paved road, and then attempts 1 through, I don't know, 100 on the off-road route. This, on the other hand, so far, we haven't had to make any other attempts that you guys haven't seen. And hopefully we can keep it that way. Hopefully this isn't an impossible task we put out for ourselves. I think if we do make this, I wonder if we should try the other stupid vehicle that I thought might be a better choice. But probably wouldn't be a better choice. That might be entertaining. Possibly. Or it could be just a terrible idea that no one wants to see. I don't know. I won't know until I start playing it and go, huh, is this fun or not? And then maybe we'll have to take some sort of silly vehicle like a 6-wheeler or something down here. See how it does. That seems like a whole different thing, doesn't it? Yep. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not talking, I'm concentrating. Every time my vehicle decides to make one little turn that I'm not really anticipating for one reason or another, towards the edge, or towards a rock or something, just largely based on my crappy drivingness, my heart almost misses a beat. And I want to just inhale, just rapidly. My nerves. I'm worried about going up on these rocks on the left side with that cliff so close to the right. Again, sliding. Again, center of gravity. It's just so dangerous. Hey, I figured out the name of the map. No wonder why it's called Dangerous Roads. Genius. I think that for a lot of creative stuff, first off, I suck at creative stuff. So here I am as a YouTuber. That's, yeah, good, great. That really plays into your strengths. Quote unquote YouTuber, use that term loosely. But we have made it to this point. I recognize that split in the road there. We must have made it to this point. I'm so nervous though. I'm going so slow. That's so boring. But I forget what I was talking about now. But yeah. Do I remember? Creativeness. I do not have that. If you ask me to name something, you ask me to create a name for my character in a game, or name the city I'm building, or name whatever, I'll be like, name of my business is, I don't know, my name Inc. I don't know. Terrible that stuff. You'd think by now I'd have played enough games and been asked that question enough that I'd have some smart answer I could put in for everything, but nah. Nah. If there's an auto-generated name, I'll just use that. That is gonna be my preference. Okay. This road, I don't like how it's slanted to the right a little bit. Like, look at the back end of my vehicle sliding down there. If I didn't countersteer that, that would have been a problem. The road is getting more treacherous, I think. Feels like it's getting more dangerous to be close to the edge of the thing. The road itself is just deteriorating, and it's still kind of muddy, mucky. You can see the splash marks of the tires. Like, it's not a nice road, which is the point. I understand. I get that. But my observation is that it's not a nice road. What do I do here? I think I faced this issue before. Do I... Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, we're fine. The diff lock's got us. Diff lock in the mud. We don't have super off-roady tires. They're probably like your basic AT tires, but definitely no more than that. Looking at the tread before we started, yeah, it was definitely not much more than that. Which doesn't help. If we had like purpose mud and dirt tires for this kind of terrain, it would probably help. It would stop us from sliding sideways. It would help us get that extra little bite going over some of the rocks and whatnot. I imagine quite a lot. But I didn't do that. I didn't want to hit the easy button. I wanted this to be a challenge. A challenge is more exciting than just casually driving through it like it's a Sunday stroll or whatever the terminology is. That's not the terminology, but that's the terminology I'm using. And that's how it's gonna be. You chose to listen to this video. You chose to listen to me talk for half an hour or more. If you don't like it, don't leave me, please. Don't leave. I need you. I need you, please. Ooh, that was a little more power than I wanted there. I scared myself. We're into the sunlight. Ah, I can feel the warmth. Actually, no, I don't. I'm kind of cold here. I don't feel the warmth. The warmth would be nice. And the sunlight is making me realize that that would be nice. So now I'm realizing that I'm cold. Thanks, game. Darn, video games making me cold. Okay, don't go too close to the edge here. Don't go too close to the rocks either. It's like I need to keep the speed down, because if I do hit a rock at speed, this thing just starts bouncing. Not a lot, but enough that it makes my steering input, my braking input, all that just that little bit more difficult. And this thing accelerates so quick when it's in 4 low sometimes. If I hit the revs just the right way, at the right place in the right gear, it just goes. And of course I'm using the automatic transmission. I've already got enough to manage, and I wouldn't really have to shift gears anyway if I had the manual transmission. Shifting would be pretty rare on this. I mean, look at my revs are. I'm below 1,000 RPM half the time. Rarely am I exceeding 2 or 3. I mean, how many gears do I really need? I mean, we're in low gear, so yeah, yeah. But, point is, I'm trying to determine if this Jeep is pulling... hopper, again, is pulling to the left a little bit, but I can't tell, and I haven't had a straight section to really determine that in a moment. Oop. No, I think it's fine. Maybe it's just the way the road is that was making me feel that way. I'm talking too much. Throat's getting dry. Anyone have a quick drink for me? Just hand me it right through your screen, okay? Just do it. It'll work. Don't question it. Don't question it. Just do it. I'm dying here. Help me. At least we have the mute button, so I don't have to cough into your faces, into your ears. Isn't that nice having someone cough into your ears? I had an online course to do through work-related stuff recently, and the instructor, I could hear him talking in a classroom environment the entire time for like 4 days straight, 8 hours a day, and of course anytime he coughs or anybody else that's present in the class, because some people remote, some people in the class coughed, you'd hear it, and it's more disruptive than if you were actually in the class with them, in my opinion. I don't know why, because I'm just sitting here in my own house having somebody cough in my ears. It's all you really hear, as opposed to, I guess, if you're in the classroom environment, it would just kind of be mixed with the rest of the sounds. I don't know. Okay, we need to... This is taking long. We've got to be getting close. I should look at the map, but I don't want to look at the map. I want to just go and see if we can get there and be pleasantly surprised when we do arrive. But this is getting... Oh, I was going to hit that rock in a weird way. This is getting to the point where it's like, come on, we got to be getting close. We got to be getting close. I don't know if I could recognize this part or not. I don't think so. Did we make it here? Or is this where the part I was talking about earlier, where it splits into a high and a low road coming up? Like, is that... I can't remember if that's on this road or not. Again, it's been weeks since I did the last recording and played this track. Like, I don't know if this is familiar or not. It might not be. Ooh, we're bouncing around pretty good. Still not too worried about the rear axle going over those bumps. More worried about the fronts, of course. A little bit worried about something like the drive shaft getting taken out. I don't care about the exhaust. This engine can go for a little bit more volume. A few more decibels is fine. Okay, I need to be careful though. It's just a little bit of a scrape there. These rocks are getting kind of bigger and more frequent in this section. But I climb up a bit of a hill over top of this patch here, which should be fine. Yeah, no biggie, no biggie. Just gotta avoid making a silly mistake at this point, and I think we'll be in the clear. Like, I still don't know how much farther we have to go. We've got to be getting there, right? We must be. You think so? I want to pick up speed, but man, I don't want to make a mistake. Those rocks hiding in the grass there on the right? Yeah, bounce off one of those the wrong way. I gasped because I touched a rock and I wasn't expecting it, and I saw the vehicle pitch to the left. See, that's why I can't do fun things. Can't go fast. Gotta go slow. Gotta think of this as almost rock crawling. I mean, we are crawling, and we are going over a good number of rocks. It's not rock crawling by my definition, but it almost is. I bet the camera pitched to the side like this most of the time, just because I want to see what's in front of me. I want to be able to get a good idea what's coming up. Oh, is this rock... Can I drive over this one? Yes, I can. Yeah, just a little bit of scrape. A little scrape. I'd be upset if that was my real vehicle. But, I mean, I also wouldn't take my daily driver vehicle on a road like this if I was not okay with risking breaking it or scraping it up a little bit. So I feel like this is there's a very high chance you'd break something on a road like this. Like, absolutely, there's no way, right? Like, axles and all that stuff must just be beat to crap on this kind of road. Suspension, everything. And if you're bottoming out, it's a whole different story. And you can hear that I am bottoming the thing out. You can see the damage indicator on the left. I have taken a fair bit of damage on this vehicle. Nothing too crazy, but it's definitely been bounced around a little bit. I like that detailed damage indicator. It doesn't give you too much information on what exactly is damaged. As far as mechanical things go, really not at all, but we have the other damage indicator that pops up for that if we damage something like so. But I really like it because it gives you a good overview of if you're beating the crap out of your vehicle or not. If you're abusing it, you might not visually see on the vehicle itself the damage, but on that indicator on the left you can see right now, it tells you. You hit a bump a little too hard, it tells you. You bend your suspension, it'll sometimes tell you, depending on what it is. You know, do whatever, bend your frame in just the slightest bit, damage a body panel, typically it shows up on that thing. There's so many things you can do to a vehicle in this game where it'll be abused and still look the same, drive the same, whatever, but you do that 100 times, your vehicle will not be pleased after that. Come on, we gotta be getting so close to the end. This feels like... I almost drove off. Hitting that rock there didn't help. I feel like we've been doing this attempt, this specific attempt, for like half an hour. Oh, I'm getting too close to the edge. I don't like it. And I was getting a little bit careless back there. I had to kind of rein myself back in. Pay attention. Don't worry about talking for a second sometimes. Just take it easy. Don't go over the edge. How big is that rock? We can handle it. Put 2 wheels on it. Or just right over the center of it. Yeah, that works too. Same with this rock. Okay, not too close to the edge. Oh, that was a little bit too close for comfort, but we did it. Okay, I don't mind when there's rocks on the left side so much, but the rocks on the right, I'm just so paranoid about that. I know, I sound like a broken record player, don't I? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Good. That was like the first time we had to use just some brute force to get over those rocks. I probably could have backed up, but I didn't. I imagine that we maybe made some more green lines appear on the left side there, on that little exchange of the rocks, but I'm not sure. And to just, you know, as I said, brute force. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this part. Okay, we've got room. We've got room around that corner. We're fine. It looked like it was going to be a lot more treacherous there. I don't like how skinny this road is getting. That edge being a little bit slanted at times doesn't look like it would make it that much more difficult, but holy crap does it ever. And it just beats my confidence level into the ground too. Like, this looks terrible. I'm going to clip that rock. I don't want to slide down. If I start sliding... I cut that a little bit too tight. That was scary. If it starts sliding, it's game over. There's little chance that I can catch the thing. Is this section going to be scary? I think it's okay. I think we're okay. That's a lot of rocks coming up here. This is a long, rocky section. I'm just going to try to keep it to the right a little bit. As long as I can avoid the super big rocks. This one's kind of big. I don't have much choice. I can't really go around it. Uh-oh. 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 We're high-centered. Oh, no. Okay, out of curiosity, how close are we? Oh my gosh. We're so close. We're so close. Like, we just had a couple more corners. Like, the rocky section we're looking at probably would have taken us up to here or something, and... Oh. We need to get off of this. This is what I'm back to the part of, do I want a node grab? I'm going to struggle with this for a minute before I get to that point. It's just not enough. If I had that front diff lock, it might help. Unless it's... Maybe the front wheel is spinning it. It was just a frequency thing. Looked like it was staying still. Like, I can wiggle it. It's so close. So close. I don't think I have any wheels properly on the ground. I don't have any weight on them anyway. Come on. Come on. Come on, game. Let us go. Let us go. We're not even... I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that we're not sliding sideways right now. Because if we were, maybe it would help us wiggle off of this rock. Coolant overheating. I'm just beating the crap out of the engine doing this. Do we node grab? Do we node grab? Do we do that? If we node grab, I think we should node grab ourselves backwards. So we're forced to do this again. So we're not just completely cheating past it. Does that sound like a fair attempt? And we'll have to come back and see if we can do this again. Not in this vehicle, but in a different vehicle. Without doing the cheaty node grab. Like it's doable. We've seen how close we are. Like it's doable. It's so close. We're so close. This is just one of the byproducts of us taking a vehicle that's just a little bit minimalistic. Barely meets the requirements. Maybe doesn't meet the requirements. This isn't really a good spot that I have myself in now either. I'd like to get some momentum, or maybe I can just go over this side. Oh. Okay, we did. I'm going to get rid of this waypoint thing here. We don't need that. Alright, well that's kind of unfortunate. So, I'm going to put that down to a driving error, because clearly we did it no problem the second time. And I learned from it this time. If I did it again, if I went and started this whole thing over again, I would take that wider, the second route I took. Because clearly that works better. It's just, if we had an extra inch or two of ground clearance, I feel like we would have been okay. If we had slightly bigger tires, we might have been okay. Ooh, I could get hung up on these still if I'm not careful. But we made it, we made it. Man, that sucks that we had to use the node grabber. I mean, at least it was a reverse node grab. We didn't node grab ourselves past the obstacle, we just restarted the obstacle with it. So I think that's fair. I think that's fair. You guys agree? Disagree? What do you think? Is it cheaty? Maybe? Maybe. I don't know. Ooh, don't slide off the side. Don't hit that rock up there. That might knock us off the side. It's so slippery. And even just the slightest grade towards the edge of that hill just makes me so nervous. Where does this corner go? Okay. I couldn't see when I had the camera down low. I couldn't see where this went. Oh no, I need to be careful. I need to be careful. This thing just wants to go on its own when it's in this forward low. Scraping up the undercarriage. Okay. More of these rocks. Jeez, this last part is challenging. It's like its own little challenge. It's like each section of this dangerous road, although at a glance they don't look too different, it's like each one is its own... No. Okay, we're fine. Each one is its own little challenge. It's like the downhill section was a challenge for one reason. The rocky part's another reason. The mud is a different reason. Some of the other hills are a different reason. How am I going to get around this? Do I need to kind of... Oh, man. It just got traction and tried to go. At least our engine is cooled down. Our coolant is no longer overheating. We might be about to change that, though. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Can we go forward? Yeah, we're heating that coolant up again. We're heating up the engine again. Okay, there we go. Good, good. Oh, kinda. I'm going to try to get my left wheels over top of this rock that my front wheel is kind of touching there. But I can't back up. I don't want to just gun it, because if I get traction all of a sudden, I'm going to go flying off the side of the hill. I don't want to do that. Oh, I'm in a precarious situation here. Okay, I was worried I was going to slide to the left a little bit more. I'm so worried about this. This is challenging. This part is a challenge. Oh, I need to be careful. I should probably back up a little bit, I think. So I don't want to shoot myself off the side again. Still. One of those words. Am I hung up on that little rock? Oh, that's... Well, Getting blinded by the sun through the mountain? Okay. Interesting. Man. Just getting caught on that rock. It must be that rock. That's well, there's a rock on both sides, I guess. Give her. Okay. Didn't go off the edge quite. Look at all the markings. What the heck is this part? You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Look at this. Spencer, why did you do this? Why did you put the crazy stuff right near the end? You just trying to troll me? You trying to troll me? I don't like that. I mean, I do like it, but I don't like it. We need to sit down and have a serious discussion about this, Spencer. Dang, map makers. Okay, I hope this isn't as bad as it looks. I'm so worried that I'm going to hit this part right here. If you didn't figure out what I'm ranting about, I'm worried I'm going to hit this part and slide right down. And it has these rocks here, so if I try to go quick around this, I have to make sure I don't hit those rocks. Going quick is going to be a challenge, because I might also avoid that one if I do that. Otherwise, my vehicle's going to be upset. It's going to bounce. It's going to have a lack of steering. I'm going to have very little choice over what direction it goes. And if I try to go slow around it over top of the rocks, I'm going to, first off, probably high center myself on this thing to some extent. Possibly, probably. If I do that, then trying to work my way off of it is going to be a problem, because I'm probably just going to slide down the mountain on that one too. This vehicle is too wide for this again. Man. Do I just gun it? I'm not really... I mean, my right rear is on a rock there, but I think I better just gun it. Honestly. This is so risky. Like, we're... Look at this. Look at this. We're so close. We are so freaking close. Oh, this waypoint just go away. For us to fail at this point is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Like, this is what I normally just set a new spawn point right here, so I'd have to start over. But that's, I can't do that. That's cheating, in my opinion, for what we're trying to do. I'm going to gun it, because I think going slow here is a bad idea. I think I'm just going to slide. Because I think I'm going to have to, like, look at that. I think I'm going to have a wheel off of the side of the cliff for this. I don't know if I can get enough momentum in this speed at this little bit of space I have, though. Oh, crap. Even if I go too far to the right, up there, and as long as I don't roll the vehicle. Oh, boy. Alright, well, wish me luck. Here we go. I don't like this. No! Dang it! No! There, I don't know how I could make it around that corner in any... Dang. Like, let's... I'm just going to pause physics for a second so the car's not revving the crap out of itself. Where... Oh, the road's down here. I passed it. Okay. Where do I... Yeah, like I was trying to basically... See, there's kind of a little bit of a rut right here in my cameras that I'm looking at, kind of following my camera. That's what I was trying to follow, but I think I hit this bit here, and my car just probably got launched to the left. Like, that's... The more I look at that now, holy, that is not very forgiving. That's terrible. Alright. But going farther to the right here, I don't know. Maybe it would have been a better idea. I mean, clearly our idea didn't work, but if I would have got my wheels up on this, I couldn't have gone up past about here. I'd probably be bottoming out on this thing a little bit. If I went up any higher than this, like up to here, I'd be sliding down again, I imagine, or risking rolling the thing. I had to maintain that over top of here. I'd probably high center myself again on that rock. Like, I don't know, that's so tricky. And then if we see what else we have to go on. So this part so far doesn't look too terrible. This part would be a little bit sketchy, going over that rock, because we'd probably be bottoming out on that too, getting the whole high center treatment. Again, we might squeeze through here. It's hard to tell. Another rocky section. Like, these rocks are... Holy. These rocks are getting big right near the end. That's the problem. I don't know if I can do this in a vehicle that doesn't have bigger tires. Like, the other vehicle I was thinking of does not have very big tires. It's a small vehicle. You can probably guess what it is, but I'm not telling you. With an off-road spec. But those rocks are like a third of the height of the vehicle in general, at least. Going over here, around this corner. Again, this corner's kind of got a bit of a grade outwards. So it wants to push you off. This section here is kind of sort of similar. I think it'd be handleable, doable. There's more here than I thought there was. And then up this hill, and oh, the sun is so bright. The sun is so bright. Did you bring your sunglasses? And we beat to the finish. Like, we're that close. We are so close. I mean, we've come so far. It's just... Dang. We did so much. Like, look, our finish is over there. We came down this road. All the way over here somewhere. I don't know how far around this corner we went, but then we zigzagged around here like a bunch of times. Came from somewhere else. Oh, okay, so across here. There's a path going through here one way or another. Here's this slippery road we complained about, I think, right here. Yeah, like, I don't know if I can find the start. It's buried in the bushes. Doesn't matter. Oh, what happened? Where'd it go? I don't know what happened. I think I saw our start vehicles, but doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah. That's quite the journey. That's quite the ways to go. Like, go away with the challenge board. I'm not doing this at night. I'm not doing this driving backwards. Are you insane? Are you insane? Starting from the other side. Whatever. Sure. But that's not really adding to the difficulty, is it? Maybe that'd be better, because then we wouldn't be going down that stupid hill that got me once. We wouldn't be going over the big rocks last and the skinny path last. Those are the biggest, I think the biggest challenges are at the end there. Get across in first person. That would be a challenge too. Like these are out of my skill level, perhaps, at least in the vehicles so far we've done. So I don't know. What do you guys want to see? I'm gonna try another vehicle in the meantime, and then by the time I'm done, by the time you guys see the next video, I've seen the comments for this one, and we'll figure it out from there. I don't know. We're gonna get across this thing one way or another, and we're gonna try to gradually build up to this as much as we can. But this is a challenge. This is gonna take some doing. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you very much. I will hopefully see you for the next one. Hopefully my sanity can take a few more attempts of this.